All right. Hello. Yes, we're doing a random live stream. I had no intention of doing this, but we're doing it anyways. We're going to be talking about the 100 most influential people in AI according to Time Magazine. I am going to bring my buddy, my editor, channel manager, thumbnail creator, Alex in a moment. And it's going to be something a little different. I plan on making this into a video, so you're kind of going to get a little peek behind the scenes about how I record and how it works. So I'm going to kind of talk to the camera, do it like I would usually do it, but then I'll also chat with chat. So let's bring Alex in. Hey, Alex. All right. So let's see. What's the right view for this? That one looks good. All right. Welcome, everybody. Bonus live stream.
I want to test out this as well real quick to see how this looks for the video purposes, just to see.
Yeah. Oh, you're kind of
might be hidden by
covers
that.
you. Oh, how about there?
Ooh.
I wish I could move you
I just
over
want to
a
make
little
sure
bit. Let me try to move you over a little bit.
Oh, it's because
right.
Did that work? Okay, nice. Yeah. Are you on the list? That was the first person I looked for. Oh, I was trying to bring that up too. He should be.
What list are we talking about here? Oh, of course. 100. What the hell? What am I saying? All right. Disregard everything I just said. Here we go. So I'm going to do a quick intro so we can record that. And yeah, this will be interesting, something new. And reminder, we are also doing the live stream news tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. So please join for that. Hey, Brazil. All right. So here's my typical intro. So Time Magazine just dropped the list of 100 most influential people in artificial intelligence, and we're going to go through it today. There's a bunch of people who are included and also some who are not, and we're doing this as a live stream, so it's going to be a unique video. Let's just get into it. All right. Not only are we missing Elon on the list, we're also missing anyone from XAI Nuts. Could not agree more, Danny. We will talk about that. And I think, you know, I'm trying not to be pessimistic isn't the right word. Cynic. Maybe it's a little bit pay to play here, and it'll make more sense as we get into it.
Gotta be some bias.
Yeah, and looking at who's number one, I think it's going to be pretty obvious why I think that. All right, so here it is. Time Magazine 100 AI, about the list. Let's talk about how they chose the list first. So here's the cover if you haven't seen it. I put it in the thumbnail of this video, but yeah, you could see here's Jensen, Scarlett Johansson, Vinod Khosla, a whole bunch of people, MKBHD, but notably missing, yes, of course, Elon Musk. Where is he? I guess he is not influential in AI, which is absurd to say out loud. And as we start reading, we can immediately see the first name that they mention is Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google. And they talk a lot about Google. And in fact, I'll show you in a second, but the first person that they kind of highlight on the entire list is Sundar, which okay, Google is an incredible company, but they are not a leader in AI. And yeah, they are definitely influential. So maybe I'm biased just a little bit, but it just seems to make him the front and center poster boy of this list. Seems odd to me. Our purpose in creating the Time 100 AI is to put leaders like Pichai and Whitaker in dialogue to open up their views to Time's readers. That is why we're excited to share with you the second edition of the Time 100 AI. And I'm sure they are not creating this list to ride the wave at all. We built this program in the spirit of the Time 100, the world's most influential community. Okay, so they talk about how they chose the list. Not too interesting here. Let's just get into the list itself. And here it is. So first they bucketed each kind of group of folks on this list front and center, Sundar Pichai, under the leaders category. Now, if we click in, we get a better understanding of why he was chosen. It's hard to imagine what modern life would look like without Google. Its search business prints hundreds of billions of dollars in yearly revenue starting 2 decades ago. But then they continue. And yet the product that in late 2022 kickstarted today's AI boom, ChatGPT, came from a startup backed by Google's major competitor, Microsoft, and that is OpenAI. Suddenly, Google was no longer the symbolic leader of the AI race, but instead playing catch up. So, okay, I'm glad they mentioned it, because if they didn't, I would think this list is just weird. Google CEO Sundar Pichai, who joined the company in 2004 and was appointed to the top job in 2015, took that hurdle in stride. And he also points out Google wasn't the first to build a search engine, which is true, but they were the first to build a good enough one to attract the lion's share of the market. And yeah, for basically 15 plus years, they've been dominant, completely monopolistic in search. And for the first time in 15, 20 years, their search dominance is completely being attacked, challenged, whatever you want to call it. They are certainly at risk of not being as dominant as they once were. I use ChatGPT daily. And I like my Google searches in general have dropped by about 90% volume. And I've been using Perplexity a lot more. I know I was late to that, but certainly using Perplexity a lot more, using ChatGPT. And the times that I actually need to go to Google are getting fewer and fewer. So yeah, I just it's good that they pointed this out. Google's now rolling out AI overviews in search. Fine, that's like when you type in a search term in the Google search, it kind of gives you that summary by, I think it's Gemini is the product powering it. But it's still slow. It's definitely not as good as OpenAI. It's not as good as Claude. But yeah, they're putting it front and center in front of everybody. So by our metrics, it is one of the biggest improvements we have done in 20 years. So this is an interview with him. Given that we can do this in a way that touches billions of people, it's both an extraordinary opportunity, but at the same time, we have to be very responsible in how we approach it. Now, I think that's probably one of Google's biggest downfalls or reasons that they became a laggard is because they were so focused on security. They were so focused on safety that they just didn't ship product fast enough. And whether you agree with it or not, OpenAI just completely shipped faster than Google could ever hope. And it's interesting here. In 2016, you pivoted Google to an AI first company, but the thing that kickstarted the current AI revolution was ChatGPT. So yeah, in 2016, they started implementing AI into basically every single product. I think Google Photos is a great example of that. The Google Photos search, when you typed in anything, it basically, sorry, that of course activated my little phone right here. When you typed in Google Photos, when you typed in a search, you could use natural language to search across all of your photos, hundreds of thousands of photos, millions of photos. Super impressive. But it wasn't generative AI. And that was really the trend that transitioned us into the current AI wave. So here, the interviewer asks about generative AI's flaws, specifically hallucination, which is getting better, but by no means is a solved problem. How are you thinking about the appropriateness of putting generative AI into search, given those flaws? And by the way, I'm not going to spend this much time on every single one of these. This would be a 7-hour video. So in AI overviews, we don't generate the answer through an LLM. We're using the LLM to give an overview using our ranking and grounding it in that. Now, that approach makes sense to me, but it's still not as good as Perplexity just from, my data point of 1. So yeah, I'm going to pause for a second. What do you guys think? What do you think of Sundar Pichai being kind of the front and center first person on this list?
I like this comment.
Google is more artificial than intelligent, but whatever. Yeah. Google's playing catch up.
I mean, they did release voice first, right? That's out right now.
Yeah,
I've heard it's
right.
just okay, but
yeah, they definitely beat OpenAI to market with a true kind of end-to-end voice product. I actually haven't used it yet. I've used Gemini as part of Google Assistant, but not the voice aspect. But just by listening to the demos, it did not sound nearly as good, nearly as natural as OpenAI. Jervis, Elon thinks he can throw money to beat OpenAI and SSI's genius. Money talks.
he
I
might be
think he
able
can
to.
definitely do it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is somebody, and I'm far from an Elon fanboy, but this is somebody who launches rockets and completely changed the auto industry and started multiple companies. And look, like I would never bet against Elon. And he did. He just launched a massive compute cluster, I think the biggest in the world. So if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him and his money.
Yep, he's been very successful at throwing money at things in the past.
Okay, so Sundar Pichai, number 1. Let's go back. Let's look at some of the other folks on the list. Satya Nadella. Now, the fact that he isn't in this top spot kind of makes me a little angry. I posted, I'm going to pull this up. Give me a sec. So there was this amazing picture of Satya Nadella. I think this was back in the 90s. Just looking incredible. Technical marketing manager for Microsoft. I mean, this is just screaming 90s. It's such an amazing picture. But now he's the top person at Microsoft. He has transitioned them from the Ballmer era of stagnation to an absolute powerhouse in cloud, and really, I think, the leader in artificial intelligence. They have made bets across the board. They basically acquired Inflection AI. They own 50% of OpenAI. So why he is not the number 1 on the list, I don't know. And I know this is maybe a little bit meaningless, but Sundar is a 10-minute read and he's a 2-minute read. Okay, so
Dang.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't get an interview with him. Back in 1993, the man who would eventually become Microsoft CEO was working as a marketing manager at the company. A video from that year shows Satya. Oh, perfect. That is exactly what I just referenced. I think that's the picture. Yeah. More than three decades later, after climbing to the pinnacle of the tech giant, Nadella's work is pushing the company towards something far bigger: artificial general intelligence. So yeah, of course he's on this list. He deserves to be on this list. In fact, he probably deserves to be number 1. And maybe the only other person I would consider as the number 1 spot, and it's not ranked, so this is just who is being featured most prominently on the list: Sam Altman, right? Okay, here's Sasha Lucioni. I don't know who this is. AI and climate lead at Hugging Face. Hugging Face, absolutely one of the most important companies in artificial intelligence, but I don't actually know who this is. I've never heard of her. So let's read a little bit about her. About 5 years ago, Sasha was researching ways AI could help tackle climate change when a single question prompted her to rethink: what if AI was part of the problem? Okay, let's see where they're going with this. Most likely is, yeah, AI uses a lot of energy, and reaching AGI is going to require energy that we don't even have available to us today. Every time you do a Google search, you don't know how much energy that's using. Every time you use an AI to generate an image, you don't know how much energy that's using. Lucioni says the tech giant, she says, has not been forthcoming with data about the carbon footprint of this new technology. I believe I heard something along the lines of it's like 10x more expensive to run a generative AI query with Google than it is to just get the kind of raw or the standard Google results, the 10 blue links. They've gotten that to be so fast and so cheap. And yeah, like, look, we're only 2 years into this new Gen AI wave. So of course the prices, the efficiency, they're all going to be improved. But for now, it is quite costly still. So that revelation spurred Lucioni to examine AI's environmental costs. In 2020, she helped create a tool for developers, downloaded 1 million times. Okay, let's skip forward a little bit. Yeah, so as climate and AI lead at Hugging Face, a wildly popular platform for sharing open source AI models, Lucioni is focused on pushing these insights beyond the research community. Okay, great. So I had not heard of her. Definitely will keep her in mind as I continue to make videos. And the man, the myth, the legend, Sam Altman. Yeah, like there's no argument. He really started this generative AI wave. Him, OpenAI. He is really the force behind it all right now.
I'm surprised he's not number one.
Fair. There obviously is just as strong of an argument for him to be the top spot, the featured spot on the Time 100 list. Satya as well, but certainly Sam Altman. I mean, he's the one who made this happen. Before I get more into this, let me check out chat. Would you buy Tesla over Nvidia stock today? I don't really want to answer that. Not investment advice. I like both companies. Nvidia is I think currently most highly valued company in the entire world, highest market cap in the entire world. Let me put this on screen. Tesla is very, very expensive, but I think they still have room to innovate. Again, not investment advice. I'm not speaking about the stock itself. I'm speaking about where I think they can grow in terms of their innovation. And I think Tesla has a ton of real world data from their autonomous vehicles, from the cameras on them. They could definitely continue to innovate, I think, much more so than Nvidia, but I don't know. I'm not sure. The reality is energy efficiency and sustainability will have to come later, progress first. Yeah, that's typically how it goes. Once there's enough value in a market, efficiency comes. All right, just reading through the comments. Saskia says Nvidia is third most valued, lost 10% from June. Okay, thank you for that clarification. So I'm guessing Microsoft, I could just probably look this up. All right, yeah. Oh, Apple is number one again. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Alphabet, Amazon. Cool. Yeah, lots of AI in these top 5 companies. Last year was a huge one for Sam Altman. The OpenAI CEO rocketed to household name status, was sought by dozens of world leaders for his audience, and saw his personal wealth balloon. He was already a billionaire, probably multiple times over, just from his investments, his time at Y Combinator. So it's interesting because if you think back, OpenAI was essentially a nonprofit. Then they had this for-profit arm that was owned by the nonprofit. He went in front of, I believe it was the Senate, and testified that he doesn't have any shares in OpenAI. So like his personal wealth ballooning, I don't think that was necessarily because of OpenAI, or if it was, I think he basically just lied. So whatever. But just before Thanksgiving, the rocket engine faltered. We actually covered that in today's video that I published. They are talking about when he was fired. In 2024, as well as shepherding OpenAI through several new products, including a voice assistant that never came to fruition, not yet at least, hopefully next month, a synthetic video generator, again, another product that never actually shipped, and an AI search engine, which did ship, but to very few people. I was fortunate enough to get access to that. Altman resumed his project of smoothing the ground for OpenAI's future plans. He in February, it emerged that he was seeking up to $7 trillion from investors to build a new manufacturer of chips necessary to build cutting-edge AI. So basically competing with Nvidia, building their own chips, offering inference, being able to train the future frontier models. And Melissa has joined us. I'm going to bring Melissa on the stage now. Hey, Melissa, you're a little off-centered. If you could scoot over. Everybody say hi to Melissa. She manages all the business-related stuff for the channel. And you might be muted. Yes, you are.
And this is why you are the influencer and I'm not.
All right. Oh, very important. I rule the world, Mo, not on the list. Yeah, that is a complete blind spot by Time 100.
Not a valid list, honestly.
Basically, just throw the list out. No longer
That's
valid.
so embarrassing for them.
Oh my
honestly.
gosh. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, so he was looking for chips. In July, he published a manifesto of sorts in the Washington Post, arguing that for democracies to succeed against authoritarianism, they must improve their cybersecurity, invest more deeply in AI hardware, and collaborate with China on setting global norms for AI development. Did I not cover this? I'm surprised. I don't think I covered this.
Maybe not.
Boy, I'm embarrassed. Okay, I'm going to have to add this to my list of things to read. Yeah, and I don't have a Washington Post subscription, so I can't access that article, but I'll find a way to get it. Okay. Let's keep reading. Right. Okay. So they go on to talk about how a bunch of top folks from OpenAI, specifically Superalignment, other security researchers, safety researchers, have basically left. And here it says, while Altman holds no equity and draws a meager salary, he has large stakes as a private investor in many of OpenAI's collaborators and customers. Several of OpenAI's senior safety researchers have resigned in recent months, with one claiming that safety had taken a backseat to shiny products under Altman's leadership. Yep. And that's probably one of the many reasons that Ilya left. And again, we covered a lot of that in today's video. If you haven't checked that out, please do. Alex, would you mind dropping a link to the video from today in chat?
Sure.
All right. Thank you. Yep. The CEO was embroiled in controversy over restrictive non-disclosure agreements that have since prompted whistleblowers to ask the SEC to investigate. All right. So, yeah, let's keep going. Sam Altman, absolutely deserving of being on this list. And maybe one of the best CEOs of all time right now, Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia. Let's take a look at their stock price. All right. So here's their stock price over the last 5 years, up 2,300%. Right about, let's see, it was the end of 2022, I believe. So here is when ChatGPT came out, and then you can just see what happened. Everybody realized they had to get on the Gen AI wave. They invested trillions, I believe it's actually trillions, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, into buying chips from Nvidia. And Nvidia is the #1 by far chip creator. I believe they're being investigated by the government right now. It was just announced, something like that. They definitely have a monopoly with CUDA, CUDA, which is basically their software that runs the chips. But let's read a little bit about what Time had to say. And by the way, completely deserving of being on this list. The leather-jacketed CEO of Nvidia has long been seen as something of a tech rock star. but it was presumably a first even for Jensen when at a top expo in Taipei in June. I know exactly where they're going. A woman asked him to sign her chest with a permanent marker. Why he agreed to do that, I will not understand. Like, cool, he wanted to do it, but boy, a lot of people said that signals the top. Again, not investment advice, but yeah, I don't know if that's a great look for the CEO of a $1 trillion company, but you know what? He's having fun. That's fine. Nvidia briefly became the world's most valuable company, worth north of $3 trillion. I was hoping they would actually include that photo in here. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Oh, I'm so glad we're covering this on the stream. Most important. Okay, yeah. So there it is. It's just silly. Okay. Let's keep going. So yeah, Nvidia makes basically all the chips. He definitely deserves to be here. He saw this coming, I think, earlier than a lot of people. For the longest time, Nvidia was a GPU maker specific for accelerating graphics in video games. But years ago, he really made the transition into thinking or believing AI is going to be the future, and the same chips using the same math that powers video games can be used to power AI. It's matrix multiplication. And yeah, it says right here. So Nvidia got its start designing graphics processing units or GPUs for the video game industry. Unlike the brains of a standard computer, which does long strings of calculations in sequence, and this is the important part, the important distinction between a CPU and a GPU makes multiple simultaneous calculations in order to render cutting-edge graphics. So they became an expert in that realm, and then it just naturally transitioned over to AI. Huang spotted the opportunity earlier than many of his competitors, and Nvidia began designing bespoke chips for AI research and building relationships with labs. A photo from 2016 shows him hand-delivering an early Nvidia supercomputer to OpenAI. He was way ahead of everybody else. Scrawled on the machine in black permanent marker were Huang's now familiar signature and a toast to the future of computing and humanity. So very cool. Jensen, absolutely top of the list. All right. I'm going to pause for a sec. Saskia says, now it's time to invest in neuromorphic chips and also in photonic ones. I don't know what these are. I've heard of neuromorphic chips, but I don't actually know about them. Tai Chi 2 Chinese chip. Let me look that up. And of course, look what I'm using. So we're going to ask Perplexity. Key concept, computing approach inspired by the structure and function of the human brain, components, physical artificial neurons for computations. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to read more about this. This is interesting. Is this what Xtropic is building, or is that something different? I think maybe that's something different. Let's find out. Developing a novel approach to AI hardware, physics-based computing, specialized chips, superconducting prototype, room temperature semiconductors. Okay. This is a bit beyond my my knowledge, so I'll have to come back and read more about it. Back to the list. I saw somebody, here we go. Asaya, I see the Zuck, my spirit animal. I feel you, brother. This is, man, Zuck, his turnaround just in terms of PR and perception has been one to be studied in business school for decades to come.
Surprisingly low on the list.
So, yeah, exactly. Let's see who else is on the list. I don't even know if this is ranked, but we'll call it ranked.
Okay,
By the way, it's like 100 degrees in this room, so I'm just going to turn on my AC real quick. You guys are really getting it behind the scenes here. Okay. Rohit Prasad, SVP and head scientist of artificial general intelligence at Amazon. Amazon, one of the most important tech companies in the world of our time, of all time. So the person who leads AI there, yeah, absolutely, probably deserves to be on this list. Now, Amazon has not been as front and center in the generative AI wave, but they have deployed a lot of artificial intelligence. They have with AWS a lot of AI infrastructure that they've built out. I believe they had a product called Q, Amazon Q, maybe. Yeah. So Amazon Q, generative AI powered assistant.
They also did warehouse stuff, right? With like robots and stuff in their warehouse. I don't know if that
for sure. There's AI at every level, at every layer of that, right? They have tons of robots. They've probably used a ton of artificial intelligence to optimize their routing for their warehouses, as you said. Okay, Mr. Awesome. Photonic chips are cool. Literally, one notable example is the Ultra 2000, a concept chip designed by digital media professionals for 3D graphics processing. Heat is a problem for you and GPU. Okay, cool. All right, so back to, let's see, Rohit Prasad. Let's see what they have to say about them and Amazon. And let's see, developing artificial general intelligence, or an AI smart as a human, is the North Star for Amazon's Rohit Prasad, who jumped from being Alexa's head scientist to running a newly created Amazon AI team last year. While the retail tech juggernaut trails in the large language model race against competitors like Microsoft and Google, it hopes to leverage its formidable resources to build an LLM. Now, it doesn't seem like if you have the chips, it's not too difficult to build a large language model. And of course, like, that's relative, not too difficult relative. XAI and Elon, they basically built one in a matter of 3 months, and it was pretty good. And then Grok 2 came out like 6 months later, maybe even less, and it's really good. And then they actually just deployed, or I should say spun up, turned on the biggest AI supercomputer in the entire world. So if they can do it, Amazon certainly can. This summer, Prasad's team hired several leaders of the AI startup Adept in order to bolster its efforts, and paid the startup a licensing fee to use some of its technology. This sounds like the kind of acqui-hire strategy that we've seen from Microsoft, we've seen from Google. So little reminder, Microsoft kind of acquired Inflection AI. They basically hired everybody important there, brought them over to Microsoft, licensed all of their technology, but still left the company running in kind of a shell of its original form. And they did that. This is all conjecture, but they did that to avoid SEC, is it FCC or SEC? Probably SEC scrutiny, and to kind of attract Lena Khan's wrath. And Lena Khan is if I remember correctly, she is the head of the FTC. There we go. Lena Khan. Okay, so great. He's on the list. Carrie Tuna. I have not heard of this person, nor have I heard of Open Philanthropy. Let's read a little bit about it. 2015, donated over $1 million towards reducing the risks of advanced AI. Okay, that was a long time ago. Few people took the threat seriously. That has changed. So she is the president of the nonprofit philanthropic endeavors. Oh, and her husband is Dustin Moskovitz, one of the co-founders of Facebook, and now runs Asana. Okay, let's keep going. Zhuang Rongwen, Director of Cyberspace Administration of China. I have not heard of this person either. So he faces a seemingly impossible task, imposing the nation's censorship practices on unpredictable generative AI technology without stifling domestic innovation. Yeah, I'd actually not thought about that. That is a really good point. You have to censor a bunch of stuff, but you don't actually know if the censorship is going to work on large language models, hence jailbreaking. And jailbreaking still works to this day. All of the modern frontier LLMs are still susceptible to jailbreaking. Pliny the prompter finds ways every time. So
yeah, it's like every other day there's a new jailbreak method or something, and I use them all the time. It's you could just type it into what you just say in the past. How do you do this? And
yeah,
Doc will tell you.
Yeah, that's cool. That was one of my favorite ones because it was just so simple. And it
So
makes a lot of
easy.
sense. It's like, don't distort history. Okay, I won't. Let me just tell you how they did this then. All right, next. Yeah, the apparent spirit animal to some of you and myself included in chat, Mark Zuckerberg. Got a modern photo of him, chain, fro included. Love it. Right. And so, like, look, he went all in on AR, VR, didn't pan out exactly like he thought it would. I wouldn't say they completely changed directions, but in the course of like a year, he basically realigned the entire company around artificial intelligence, came out with Llama, that was leaked. Then we had Llama 2, Llama 3, which is the best frontier open source model out there. It is nearly as good, if not as good, as GPT-4o, and completely free. You could download it, open source, open weights. And he's done a lot. He has done a lot for artificial intelligence in just a few years. Obviously, Facebook has had artificial intelligence in their products for a long time. I remember many years ago, I went to the F8 conference and they were showing off this demo where let me remember. So they showed you a picture and you can basically type in, it was a picture of a bathroom, for example, and you say, where's the toothbrush? And it would circle the toothbrush. And this was like 2015, 2016. So they were adopting artificial intelligence early, but certainly were not kind of the first mover on the Gen AI wave. So billionaire let's see. So yeah, went all in on AR, VR, then pivoted to AI. I think he's trying to kind of bring these two different technologies together. AI is the one. And Meta's market valuation slid from a high of a dollar, 1.07 trillion in the summer of 2021 to 240 billion in early November 2022. Boy, that would have been a great time to buy. The eve of OpenAI releasing ChatGPT. And it wasn't that long after that Llama was produced and then leaked, quote unquote leaked. Maybe it was leaked, maybe it was released on purpose, but now they're all in on open source AI. And yeah, he is absolutely one of the most influential people in artificial intelligence today. Top 10, certainly top 5, strong argument to be made there. All right, I'm going to pause for a sec. Let's see what chat has to say. PyTorch. Yeah. Look, this is something that I didn't realize. Meta has released so much open source goodness, libraries, code, frameworks. React is another one, right? Like they've released so much and I just didn't give them credit for it. Not until they started giving us all the Llama goodness. All right, let me just read through some of this chat. Gave me a whole new respect for Meta. Agreed. I actually, I hated Facebook for a while. I still don't use Facebook to this day. But
I never use Facebook.
Yeah, I used it for a long time, but then I stopped a long time ago. It just didn't make me feel good using it. I didn't really like their data collection techniques. Oh my gosh, I did not know this. Just Phil, no Jan LeCun on the list. That's nuts.
What?
That's nuts. I'm gonna have to call it out. How is Scarlett Johansson and MKBHD on this list and Jan LeCun is not? He is the top,
crazy.
like literally top 5 AI scientists in the entire world. Oh, come on, roll stream. Zuck's been taking his anti-reptile vaccine.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Demis Hassabis, yeah, absolutely. CEO and co-founder of Google DeepMind. He has been working on AI probably before most people. He was responsible for the AlphaGo project. I believe he also created projects to play the game Dota. Yeah, so he was like, you know, a father of AI, really. Co-founded DeepMind all the way back in 2010. So this was just when people started realizing how powerful AI could be. But when I say some people, like a few people in Silicon Valley, this is not like what Gen AI is today. He had a 20-year plan culminating in the creation of artificial general intelligence, an AI system that can do practically any cognitive task a human can. 14 years on, Hassabis thinks we are on track. Sorry. Hassabis thinks things are on track. I believe AI is going to be the most beneficial technology ever created, but if we apply it in the right way and build it in the right way, but only if we apply it in the right way and build it in the right way. Hassabis's lab has had many successes, including pioneering deep reinforcement learning, no big deal, designing systems that could beat the best human players at the board game Go, and solving the protein folding problem to help scientists design new drugs and understand diseases. All right, so previously with Go, people thought that game had so many possible permutations and were so complex that there was no way AI could solve it or a computer could solve it. He did. Not necessarily solve it by definition, but can beat any human player by a long shot. And then protein folding. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of showing my age here, but there was a project for a long time where I forget what it's called, like alpha folding, something like that. Folding for something. Maybe chat, you could tell me what it is. But essentially, you installed this little app on your computer, and you kind of gave up a little piece of your compute, and all the people around the world would install it and add to this compute, and that compute would be put towards finding new proteins. And it was extremely compute intensive, and we were really like only scratching the surface of proteins that could be discovered. And then he basically just like completely annihilated the discovery. He basically found all of it, and this AI could figure out any protein. It's really impressive. Matthew 70B. Yeah, thank you. I'm flattered to be called 70B and not 7B. Oh, and on that note, as a reminder, we do have memberships, which are named after different models. I think we have Berminator 7B, Berminator Opus. Do you remember the last one, Alex?
It's
putting you on the spot.
Yeah, it is. It's Opus. It's 7B. Oh gosh, I don't know. I can't remember. It's something
All
like
right.
that.
Well,
they're funny.
So we launched memberships. Check it out. Become a member if you want to support the channel. And we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff, Q&As specific to members and stuff like that. Yeah, Mr. Awesome, folding at home. Thank you. That's what it was called.
7B 3.5 Opus.
3.5 Opus. That's what it is. That's right.
How is the memberships different than Patreon? Good question. They will be treated similarly. It's just different options, but you'll probably get the same benefits from both of them. We're going to align those. So yeah, you can choose one or the other. At least Matt is shipping. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, folding at home. Nathaniel said that as well. Yep, folding at home, which I had installed on my computer a long time ago. All right, let's keep looking through this list. Yeah, Demis Hassabis, absolutely. Good choice. CC Wei. So I actually had not heard of this person, but I do know what TSMC is. And they are the company that essentially, if I get this right, produce all of the chips for Nvidia. Basically, they are the manufacturer of the chips. Let's just double check that I get that right. Taiwanese multinational semiconductor contract manufacturing design company. Yep. The world's largest contract manufacturer of semiconductor chips. And I'm almost done with the book, The Coming Wave, by Mustafa Suleyman, who's the head of Microsoft's Microsoft's AI division. And he talks about this company. He basically says they're really like the only ones who make all these chips. Here's TSMC's largest customers. Surprised to see Apple here because, I guess they're designing their own chips. TSMC is manufacturing them. I think that's the structure of these. Nvidia, Intel, AWS, AMD, Qualcomm, Broadcom. Yep, all the big ones. TSMC controls 50% of the global market for made-to-order chips and over 90% of the market for the most advanced processors. Wow, that's incredible. Okay. Yeah, we need to start making more of these manufacturing plants for chips. All right. So yeah, I think definitely deserves to be on the list. Let's see. Unparalleled manufacturing capabilities, strategic importance of his product, fraught position in relation to the tensions between the US and China. Yep, they're kind of right in the middle of that. He's careful about what he says about this relationship in public. Okay. Yeah, good choice. Lang Rubo, CEO and co-founder of ByteDance. Not going to dig too much into that. ByteDance, let's see. Yeah, owner of TikTok. Not a fan of TikTok, but that's fine. I've not heard of this person nor this company. Wang, okay. Zhaochun, I'm probably butchering that last name. I apologize. Founder of Baichuan. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Okay. Native won first prize in China's national high school math competition at age 14. Wow. Okay. Gold medal, international Olympiad and informatics at 17. All right. So he's a math prodigy. But what does this company actually do? Let's figure that out. Back to Perplexity we go. Okay.
Also, while we're waiting, Matt, we got Momo. Thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you, Momo. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
We should start releasing confetti or something.
Right.
Yeah, we were using OBS and we had like a nice cool like confetti thing, but I don't know if StreamYard has that, and we switched to StreamYard.
From what I've seen, it doesn't. This is just having them come up like this is the best
Cool
I've seen. But I mean, you could get, some streamers or something and just have to clean your office after every stream. That'd work.
Thank you again, Momo. Appreciate that. Thanks for becoming a member. Okay. Back to Perplexity. Chinese artificial intelligence startup that focuses on developing advanced language AI, LLMs. Here are the key aspects. Okay, so they produce LLMs. Why have I not heard of this? Multiple versions of LLMs, Baichuan 7B, 13B, 4. I'm going to guess it's pretty censored.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe not in this video, but I'm down to test it out. Claims its latest model, Baichuan 2 192K, can process around 350,000 Chinese characters, surpassing competitors like Anthropic's Claude 2 and OpenAI's GPT-4 in terms of context window size. Okay.
Is
fine.
there like an advantage to using Chinese characters instead of like the English language for like bigger, like smaller context windows, but being able to put more into it or something like that?
That's an interesting thought because this is a bit out of my knowledge, but you know, a Chinese character can mean multiple words and more, right? So it's like more compressed in that sense. I'm not actually sure. But I know if the model itself is trained on Chinese, it's going to be, you know, best at Chinese versus like trying to put English into it or trying to
Right.
put Chinese into an English based model. And that was a lot of people's gripes early on. Large language models do best in English, not so well in other languages, but that has been getting better.
Interesting. I'm wondering if Chinese characters like are broken into tokens themselves, right? You have like 4 or 5 tokens per character rather than one per.
Yeah, these are
I don't
good
know.
questions, Alex. I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look all this stuff up. Thanks, man. Giving me a bunch of extra work.
Welcome. It's the
Okay.
other way around for once.
All right. Cool. He's on the list. Can you see the time 100 list still?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool. Just want to make
Oh,
sure.
someone
Yeah.
first name says this is the same reason that Chinese people can read faster as well. It's just more efficient. Interesting.
Okay. Makes sense, I guess. Yeah, right. I mean, you see just a single symbol meaning an entire concept. Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. Well, we like understand way faster than we can read for on average, I think, right? So like you can process faster. I don't know.
All right, next on the list, Lisa
Real
Su. By the way,
quick, can we answer this one real quick?
Yeah. Matt, do you have a Discord that free viewers can join? Also, where can I find your model testing spreadsheet? Okay. Yes, I have a Discord. It is free. Yep. And you can
I can
join.
drop a
It's
link.
actually pretty active. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. And yes, I also have a spreadsheet where I've been keeping track of every single model test. And I will drop that in the chat right about now. Let me just share the tab. Actually, I'll show you. Yeah, so this is the list. Look at this. This is a pretty good list now. Yeah, these are all the models I've tested. Yeah, we've done a lot of these videos. I haven't done an LLM test video in a little while though. I think maybe because there hasn't been like a kind of a really compelling new model in a little while. And when I say a little while, like a month.
Right.
I
think Llama was our last like big one.
There you go. I just dropped it. It's a Notion link. Check it out. There it is. All right. So yeah, Lisa Su.
Oh, real quick. Sorry. Also, if you are a member, that Discord link is the same one for members. You just link your Discord to YouTube and then you get a chat, like a members only chat in the Discord.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
Okay. Where was I? Yeah. Okay. Lisa Su. Who knew that Lisa Su is Jensen Huang's cousin? Who knew that? I when I found that out, I was just completely blown away.
So let's go back to the top spot, but he doesn't. Okay.
Jensen Huang.
She's also the CEO of AMD. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, that's like why she's on the list. Yeah. So she's CEO of AMD. AMD. I've been using their chips forever. I actually, for the longest time, chose their chips over Intel. Just because they were less expensive and they seem to perform just as good. Or
right now they're performing better.
And now they're performing better.
Across
That's
the board,
right.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, they are indeed related. Lisa Su and Jensen Huang are first cousins once removed. Huang's mother is the youngest sister of Su's maternal grandmother. Dang. So that is a crazy successful family.
Yeah. Dang.
And one of my favorite clips, I'm going to try to find it real quick, is Lisa Su being interviewed, I think at like auto race, maybe like F1. And she owns the team and somebody's interviewing her like, hey, let me just grab this random person. It's so funny. Lisa Su. Let's see if I can find it.
I found it.
Okay. Yeah. You want to, let's see, share your screen?
I'll send it to you. I'll just send it to
you. Drop that. Thank you.
Do you
right.
speak English? Is the title.
Oh yeah. Okay. Watch this. This is so good. Hopefully you can hear the audio. Let me know if you can't.
Else I can.
Yeah, we can.
Ram, do you speak English? Yes, I do. Well, you're Marty's random person, the first one of the year. How are you, and what are you doing on the grid? I'm doing great. I'm with AMD, so we're sponsoring the Ferrari car. Okay, yes. So we're right. So you got VIP access. Look, you've got access everywhere by the looks of it. So that's the secret. Become a sponsor of Ferrari. Yes, thank you. It's great. Fantastic. All right, good to see you. Back to you.
Oh, that was sufficiently awkward. And do you know who I am? This needs to be posted on that subreddit if it's not already there.
Have you seen that video of the security guard stopping the lead singer from entering the venue? And he's like, no, I'm the guy.
Oh my God. I haven't seen that, but I've seen something similar. The lead singer of Linkin Park was being interviewed, and the girl interviewing him didn't know who he was, and then all of a sudden she found out, and she was like completely blown away. I gotta find this video.
That's so funny.
I agree with first name here.
What does first name say? I like how she handled. Yeah, of course. Like she's, not only brilliant, but of course media trained, and yeah, she's just like, yeah, us within AMD. Not like, no, I am AMD. Don't you know who I am? Do you speak English? My God.
English.
That's crazy.
Okay, here. Let's see if I can get this. I'm not gonna be able to. All right, I'll drop this in the chat. I'm not gonna play this though, but it's so funny. Poor interviewer didn't realize they were talking to Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, and she was acting all awkward and trying to be funny, and it was actually very cute how she kind of finally reacted to it. And yeah, great.
That's hilarious.
There it is. Okay, let's keep going on the list. Jonathan Ross, yep, CEO of Grok. I will say I am now an investor in Grok, so a little bit of disclosure there. But yeah, I mean, look, Grok is transforming inference. I'm super excited about everything they do. I think being able to run inference in the hundreds, if not thousands of tokens per second is extremely meaningful for the future when we have thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of AI agents running all the time.
Also, their entire team is super nice people too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have an interview with a lot of them. Multiple interviews.
Oh, right. Yeah. Can you drop that? Actually, I interviewed Jonathan, and I've interviewed other folks from there as well.
Remember, I went to their South by event.
Yes, that's right. Was it this recent one?
Yes,
this most recent one? Yeah. So they're a great group, super smart. Raised a ton of money recently. So yeah, of course. Oh, and Jonathan Ross, also the creator of the TPU, the Tensor Processing Unit, which is Google's custom chip. So he worked for Google for years. Their custom chip that runs all of their AI and other compute as well. But it's just a beast of a chip. And he took, everything he learned, all his knowledge, started his own company, kind of went on this long journey for years before all of a sudden, it was at the beginning of this year, they just like completely went viral because they were able to run inference at speeds that no one had even thought was possible. Mr. Awesome, I think I've seen you comment this a couple of times. When will you do some bias testing? I've kind of started to integrate some bias testing.
Can you clarify what that means?
I think that means like asking a certain question. Obviously, like there's the political aspect of it, asking it certain questions about one party versus another party. I started asking it about moral questions, which is tangential to this, but not necessarily bias testing. But yeah, look, I'm always open to suggestions. So drop them in the comments. If you want to see like specific questions asked, let me know. And also let me know how you think you would grade them as well. Yes, ideological and political. Yeah. Okay. I can try to add some of those tests, certainly.
Yeah, it's super interesting to me, at least, because you can't really grade moral questions. You can be like, okay, well, I would do a different thing, but you've just asked them what they would do, not necessarily what the right answer is.
Yeah. I have to do something. Give me 30 seconds. I'm just going to put this on pause. All right. Sorry about that. We are back. Okay. So, Jonathan Ross. Yep. Sounds good.
He's one of the first people I looked for on the list. I'm like, I bet he's on here somewhere.
Yep. Let's see. So he made his name at Google. Amazon and Microsoft tried to poach him. 2016, both companies, tried to poach him, build their own chips. He says one of the suitors privately told him that it would be bad for the world if Google and China were the only two entities in charge of the world's most advanced AI. I wonder. Maybe it wasn't one of those. That sounds like something Elon Musk would say. But that's all theorizing. 3 is not much better than 2. Ross recalls thinking at the time, but I like your pitch. I'm going to do this and make it available for everybody. Yeah. So as a reminder, originally Grok's chips, they were planning to sell the actual chips, but it was pretty costly to buy enough of those chips to make it work. And so what they decided to do was stop selling the chips and instead offer inference, which I think was a great call. Grok was valued at $2.8 billion at its most recent funding round, led by BlackRock. But it is a minnow compared to Nvidia, which is worth $3 trillion. Okay, cool. Synesthesia. Victor Riperbelli. I don't know who this is. I think I've heard of synesthesia before, though. Deepfakes as a service. Okay, London-based AI company offers businesses a platform to turn any document or web page into an engaging video hosted by realistic AI avatar. What? All right. This guy is on the list and not Elon Musk. Okay, sorry. I'm trying not to be negative, but come on. All right, Aravind Srinivas, CEO of Perplexity, one of my favorite new AI tools, and I use it all the time. And yes, I was late to the game, but of course, yes, he deserves to be on the list. His product is so awesome, and releasing a lot of cool features. And hey, something cool. I did a review of Search GPT versus Perplexity versus Google. He actually retweeted it, commented on it, and I was flattered. It was really cool to see. Okay, Daphne Collar, founder and CEO of Incitro. I don't know who this is or what Incitro is. Let's just read briefly what it is so we all know. Pioneer new screenings, treatments, interventions for diseases. Okay, that's good. I like that. I don't know much about it, though, so I'll have to save that for another time. Sarah Grev, co-lead author on the Evescape project, another person and project I don't know what they are. So let's check it out. With each new variant of SARS-CoV-2, not to mention annual variants. Okay, so let's see the team. Let's see what this has to say. Predict the evolutions and mutations by using artificial intelligence. Yeah, if you're using AI to help solve the world's health crises, I'm all for that. Good. You're on the list.
You deserve to be on the list. Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Mustafa Suleiman. Currently reading his book, The Coming Wave. Let me pull that up. Let's see. Here it is.
Upload videos is going to call Elon to join us live, he said. He or she said.
Oh, yeah, hey, thanks. I appreciate that.
He's coming.
All right. Stay tuned. Elon coming shortly. Okay, The Coming Wave. This is the book I'm reading. Great book. Talks about a little bit of the history of AI, and then also kind of why people are really underestimating what is coming. Both, it's not just AI, it's about biotech as well. But good book. But yeah, he's currently the CEO of Microsoft AI. We already talked about how he became the CEO of Microsoft AI. His company Inflection AI, which was, I believe, co-founded or funded by Reid Hoffman, was somewhat acquired, pseudo acquired, but without attracting the attention of Lina Khan and the the FTC, excuse me. In March, he left his startup Inflection to become CEO of Microsoft AI. Almost all of Inflection's staff followed Suleiman to Microsoft. And they inked a $650 million deal with the startup to access this AI models. This is like, yeah, they're playing a game here. Microsoft is. This is not a true licensing deal. It is not a true acquisition. It's like some weird thing in between. Let's see. It doesn't really say too much about him, but I read a lot about him in the book. Let me pull up Trusty Perplexity. Let's find out more about Mustafa. Born 1984, British, dropped out of Mansfield College. Career highlights. Okay. Right. Co-founded DeepMind. That's right. So co-founded DeepMind with Demis Hassabis and Shane Legg. Became head of applied AI at DeepMind. So yeah, he talks a lot about Go or AlphaGo, AlphaFold, all these cool things. Yeah, he definitely deserves to be on the list. He's one of the founding fathers of artificial intelligence. All right, let's keep going. Shiv Rao, co-founder of Abridge. Okay, I don't know who this is either. Let's see. Doctors often complain that for every hour they spend with patients, they spend up to 2 on paperwork. Okay, so I think that is what he's solving. Not going to spend too much time on this one. Zach Dve Aharon, another health AI company. Mira Murati, there's somebody I know. She deserves to be on the list. CTO of OpenAI. By the way, who the hell am I to talk about who deserves to be on the list? But, you know, these are just my opinions. Yeah, so Mira Murati on the list. She is CTO for many years of OpenAI. And she also gave a funny interview. I'm trying to find the picture.
That's right.
You already know where I'm going with this, right?
I've seen it. I can't remember what it is, but I do remember it. I think I saw it when they were doing the GPT-4 voice thing.
The famous face she made when the interviewer asked, "Are you training on YouTube videos?" That's the, yeah, I'm not so sure, but yeah, probably we are. I just don't want to say it publicly. Okay. Yeah, she great. She's on the list. Let's keep going. Andrew Feldman, Cerebrus Systems. Yeah, Cerebrus. They just launched, yeah, computer chips. I think they just announced they released chips that they were able to get like in the thousands of tokens per second. So good on him. Andrew Feldman. Okay. Christoph Fuquat, ASML. Dang, I don't know a lot of these people. ASML, the world's only producer of manufacturing equipment for cutting-edge semiconductors. So basically another part of the manufacturing process. Okay. Brett Adcock. All right. Yeah, I've talked about him on the channel. We all know about Figure Robots. Let's take a look. So as a reminder, this was Figure 01. Here's Figure 02. Very cool. I want one.
Me too.
Yeah. Mel, would you have this in your house?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No fear, huh?
Nope.
Okay. Alex?
I'll let you guys try it out and let me know how it is.
I just really hate folding laundry, so if it could just do that for me.
That's fair. It's just a laundry robot. That's it.
That's pretty much it.
Adam asks, are you going to test Cerebrus? It beats Grok. If the only thing it really does is faster inference speed, I don't know if it warrants a full test. Maybe I'd use it in a future test of a new model that they're hosting, but like I don't know if it's worth like an entire video just to test
maybe like
a faster speed.
Maybe they
comparison.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, maybe we could just do a comparison. But yeah, I think Cerebrus does beat Grok right now, just in terms of pure inference speed.
Does anybody have a contact at Cerebrus that we should reach out to?
Possibly. All right. Let's keep going. Yeah, I figure he definitely deserves to be on the list. Founded the startup in 2022, which is kind of nuts. That's like not too long ago. All right, let's go through a few of these a little bit more quickly. So we have product lead at Proton. I don't know who that is or what that is, I should say. A Swiss privacy company. Okay. Then we have John Jumper, director of AlphaFold team lead, Google DeepMind, director and AlphaFold team lead, Google DeepMind. Peter, gosh, is that how to say this? Peter, yeah. Dubkowski, co-founder and CTO of 11 Labs.
I don't know why I know that 11 Labs, but I do.
Yeah, well,
they do
11
all
Labs
the sound stuff.
Yeah, so like anything where you're doing like deep fakes for voices. I just saw Matt Vidpro AI do a live stream where he was demoing some of their sound effects, and it was really cool to hear.
It's very impressive. They do a lot of very accurate noise suppression and stuff like that as well. Like they have that video of him talking in that wind tunnel, and then they switch it on, and it sounds like he's just talking in like a very impressive.
And maybe, Alex, maybe this was before you joined the team. Oh, no, this was after. So there's a video in my collection of, nearly 400 videos where I had lost my voice completely.
Yes.
And I was like, no, I need to make another video. I need to. And I ended up writing out a script, uploading it to 11 Labs, cloning my voice from previous videos and publishing, and nobody cared.
Yep,
nobody cared, which made me think, gosh, how long am I going to have a job for?
I wish I could find that off the top of my head. It's not something I can just look up. But yeah, remember we made like Robot Matt and all that? Yeah.
Yep.
That
was a fun video. You guys definitely do not care if I'm in the video or not.
Can we get a Robot Alex next?
That'd be absolutely.
That'd
just
be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Just edit the videos for me, please.
Yeah, Asaya, valid concern. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's keep going. Lawrence Leck, artist, filmmaker. Do not know who this is. Let's just take a look. 2021 film Black Cloud stars a depressed self-driving car that performed its job too well. Okay, I had not heard of this. Let's find out a little bit more. Is this it? This can't be it.
I don't think that's it.
Doesn't look right.
No. This
no,
isn't
2004.
it.
No.
All right.
Did the article get it wrong?
Dark.
Yeah, it looks like the article got it.
Wait, did I get it wrong or did the article get it wrong?
You copy and pasted it, so
look at that.
I mean,
come on, time.
They didn't have Mo. They're getting things wrong. No Elon Musk.
Okay, so cool. Looks good. Silvio Savarese, Executive Vice President and Chief Scientist of AI Research at Salesforce. Okay. Yeah, they've made some good progress. Arthur Mensch. Yes, this person deserves to be on the list. Absolutely. Co-founder and CEO of Mistral AI. And yes, I'm going to pronounce that correctly now. Mistral. It's not Mistral. It's French company, French pronunciation. Arthur Mensch. They have great models. I just, in the long term, don't see how having a unique proprietary model is a good business model, since intelligence cost is going to zero, open source is proliferating. I just don't see it. But they raise a ton of money. They're building great models. I appreciate it. They're open sourcing some of them, not all of them. But they're also in the EU, which is like kind of a restrictor of innovation in the world of AI. So yeah, Mensch left Google DeepMind in May 2023 to launch Mistral with 2 former engineering school friends. All right. Yeah, good job. Lena Khan. Oh my gosh. What? Okay. Let's see why she would possibly be on this list. Federal Trade Commission Chair Lena Khan has been a thorn in the side of big tech companies since her 2021 appointment, arguing that major players have become too monopolistic and powerful. Over the last year, she's turned her focus to how these tech giants. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess. Okay. So the list is influential. And if she's stopping progress, I guess that's influence. Okay.
Just wait till
fine.
you see Scarlett Johansson and why she's on the list.
Yeah. All right. I know I keep saying this. I am going to skip through a few of these a little bit more quickly. I have
We're
to
about
wrap
a quarter
up
of the way
stream.
through the list. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I probably have to be out of here in about 30 minutes. Okay, so Dan Neely, Vermilio, don't know who that is. Comedian or Willinus Hatcher, comedian and AI storyteller. Palmer Luckey, sure. He was the creator, founder of Oculus, sold to Google, fired for his political beliefs, most likely. Founded Anduril Industries, which is a defense contractor, and they put AI into defense products. Takedra, CEO, co-CEO of Waymo, absolutely. I have not driven in a Waymo before, but they are making incredible progress. San Francisco, Los Angeles, I believe some cities in Arizona and some other cities as well. Viz AI, not heard of. Thinkers, Ray Kurzweil, probably actually most deserving of the title of grandfather of AI, principal researcher and AI visionary at Google. I am glad that they put him as the kind of the featured person in this list. In all the way back in 1990, Kurzweil correctly projected that AI would beat the best human player at chess before the turn of the millennium, and that mobile devices connected to a global information network would emerge in the decade that followed. Yep.
Matt, do you have a meeting with Raymond right now?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's what I went on mute for a sec.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to read too much about this. In his latest book, The Singularity is Nearer. Okay, I want to read this. Released in June. That's going to be on my list. Absolutely. So yeah, he's a futurist, visionary, AI, overall just AI thought leader. Definitely deserves there. Ilya Sutskever made a video about him today. Check it out. Co-founder of Safe Superintelligence, previous co-founder of OpenAI, started a mutiny against Sam Altman. He did not win. So he left, started Safe Superintelligence recently. They just raised a bunch of money, $1 billion at a $5 billion valuation for a company that was started 3 months ago. This is definitely not a bubble. Albert Gu, let's see, assistant professor machine learning, Carnegie Mellon, co-founder of Cartesia. Andrew Karpathy, founder of Eureka Labs, one of the most important people in artificial intelligence. Absolutely. One of the founding members of OpenAI. He was personally hired by Elon Musk to lead Tesla's work on computer vision, returned to OpenAI in 2023. Then he left to start an education company. Love it. Obviously very personally invested into education, and I appreciate everything he does. Andrew Yao, Dean of the Institute for Interdisciplinary Information Scientists at Tsinghua University. Eisen Gabriel, research scientist at Google DeepMind. Helen Toner, here we go, former OpenAI board member. That is a capital F former. she was kind of pivotal in the mutiny against Sam Altman at OpenAI. And then, of course, she was fired. And I said it in the video, and I'll say it again. If you go at the king, best not miss. So that is, she was, let's see, what else does she do? She wrote a lot of papers and articles about AI safety. So very thoughtful there, but didn't like what Sam Altman was doing, tried to fire him. She got fired. Okay. Amanda Ashkel, member of technical staff at Anthropic. Sure. Jan Lakey, alignment science co-lead at Anthropic. He just left OpenAI. Chris Ola, co-founder of Anthropic. I have not heard of him, surprisingly. I'm learning about a lot of people today. Beth Barnes, founder and head of research, model evaluation and threat research. Ben Zhao, inventor of Nightshade. I don't know what Nightshade is. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so prior to the invention of Nightshade by University of Chicago computer science professor Ben Zhao and his team, artists could only request that developers not use their work to train AI models, but there was no incentive or enforcement to ensure they complied. Zhao's tools helps poison artwork by convincing AI that a picture of a dog, let's say, is actually a cat. Interesting. Cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. All right. Jeffrey Irving, UK AI Safety Institute. Katya Grace, co-founder and lead researcher at AI Impacts. Chinasa Okalo, fellow at Brookings Institute. Amba Kak, co-executive director, AI Now Institute. Ethan Malik, author of Co-Intelligence. Ethan Malik is a name that I've heard a lot. I actually don't know as much about him as I probably should. While many discussions about artificial intelligence speculate on its future, Ethan Malik is focused on how people can wield AI tools right now. Wharton professor, author of the book Co-Intelligence, adding that to my list. He also writes a newsletter, One Useful Thing, 175,000 subscribers. Speaking of newsletters, I have one, MatthewBerman.com. Please subscribe, check it out. Published twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Malik argues that people should adopt AI into every facet of their life to learn where it can be used best. That I agree with wholeheartedly. That is why I started this channel. I want to help the most possible amount of people adopt AI every day. Okay. Patrick Lewis, director of machine learning at Cohere. Becky Pringle, president of the National Education Association. Dwarkesh Patel, host of the Dwarkesh podcast, great podcaster. Joshua Bengio, founder and scientific director, Mila, Quebec AI Institute. Daniel not going to try to pronounce that. Former governance researcher at OpenAI. Marques Brownlee. I love his videos. Why is he on this list, though? Let's see. YouTube gadget reviewer Marques Brownlee has been careful not to get swept up in the hype after its release of the Humane AI Pin and Rabbit R1 products, which sought to rethink the smartphone. Brownlee became one of the loudest voices to critically pan the new gadgets. I don't know. Do you think he deserves to be on this list?
I mean, more than Scarlett Johansson, probably.
Yeah, but just slightly more.
Slightly more.
I don't know. He just reviewed 2 AI products and, didn't give them really negative reviews, which is fine, but
impact.
Yeah, the impact of it was pretty huge.
You're right. Fair enough.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Okay. Shapers. Amandeep, United Nations Security General's envoy in technology. All right. Francesca Mani, anti-deepfake activist. Okay, that's cool. Thierry Breton, European Commissioner for Internal Market. Okay. Yasir, Governor of Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. Okay, yeah, Saudi Arabia is putting a ton of money into AI and technology in general. Gina Raimondo, Secretary of Commerce, United States of America. Arati Prabhakar, Director, U.S. Office of Science and Technology Policy. Meredith Stein, President, Writers Guild of America West. All right, I'm not going to read all of these. Let's look for some that we recognize. I don't recognize her, but Elizabeth Kelly, Director, United States Artificial Intelligence Safety Institute, probably a very influential and important
Cool to
person.
talk to interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably who Sam Altman, OpenAI, and Anthropic worked with to share their new frontier models. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Who do we? Nat Friedman, very famous VC or investor in general, invested in a ton of companies, very big in Silicon Valley. They invest hundreds of $millions of dollars into rising AI companies like Perplexity, 11 Labs. He's so well regarded in Silicon Valley that he was also reportedly offered the interim CEO role at OpenAI after Sam Altman was briefly ousted. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh, Scott Wiener, California State Senator. So he's on this list because he came up with the AI bill that's going through California right now. Whether you agree with it or not, it's definitely influential. Dario of Anthropic, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
I mean, it was influential. So
the movie, right? You're talking about her?
No, just her the story with her voice.
Oh, right, with OpenAI. Yeah, okay, but come on.
That's the whole reason she's on this list too. Is just about that.
Are they even going to mention her?
Oh, that you can't just.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. They didn't mention the movie Her because it would have been capitalized though.
Right. Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so that's it. She's on this list because OpenAI almost used her voice, or it wasn't even her voice. It just sounded like her voice, and she's on the list. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Also, something that's crazy to me is you have like Marquise Brownlee on here, but you don't have Lex Friedman, no Jan LeCun, like the people who have actually like publicly talk about AI and stuff all the time. Just aren't on the list. Doesn't make sense to me.
What is happening? Okay. Let's see. Kristen D. Serbo, Chief Learning Officer at Khan Academy. I love Khan Academy. I use Khan Academy Kids for my kids. It's free education. What else can you ask for? So yeah, good on her for being on the list. Eric Schmidt, we did a whole video about him recently. Alex, would you mind dropping that in chat?
Yeah, no problem.
It was quite a popular video, so definitely check it out. He did a talk at Stanford where he said some things maybe he shouldn't have, and it was fun to watch. But he's basically invested in everything AI related. All right. Let's see. Do we recognize any of these other folks on the list? Yeah, Vinod Khosla, founder of Khosla Ventures, big investor in all things AI, big investor in general. Okay. Steve Huffman, he looks familiar. Yeah, co-founder, CEO of Reddit. Why is he on the list? Let's find out. Large language models are on. Yeah, so he made a deal. Here it is. In February, he signed a deal reportedly worth $60 million with Google for their AI model training. I could have swore it was with OpenAI. Am I wrong about that? Because
we talked about that.
Him and Sam Altman are close. Sam Altman and Reddit are super close. I could have swore that was.
I'm gonna look it up.
OpenAI became a Reddit advertising partner and offered new AI-powered features to Reddit forums. Great. Okay. Yeah. So look, Reddit is one of those companies that has a treasure trove of unique, proprietary, for the most part, high-quality data. Previously, before Perplexity. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, this says he is partnering with both OpenAI and Google separately. So
okay,
maybe they just didn't include. Oh, no, he just says he forged a partnership with OpenAI as well. Interesting. There's definitely something about Reddit and Google, though, in that article.
Yeah. All right. Where was I going with that? So yeah, they they have a crazy good amount of data. And these proprietary data sets are going to be more and more valuable. And I think they were going to launch some crypto thing, and I hope the users are rewarded for their contributions to Reddit, because users are creating all of this data. Reddit is going to go sell that data, previously to advertisers, but now to models. And yeah, I mean, the users are the ones creating the high quality content, so they should be rewarded.
Yeah. That goes for anything. YouTubers, if you, I don't know if Twitter can be included in that necessarily, but yeah, any creators should be at least compensated for it, right?
Yeah, agreed. And I know a lot of people, a lot of the viewers kind of disagree with my stance on whether, like, my videos, for example, should be used to train models. Generally, I just think I should have the option to choose. By the way, is chat still working?
That's what I was wondering.
I don't know. Let me look on actual YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up because I don't see any new comments. Give us a sec, everybody. We are figuring something out.
No, it is not working.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pull up the chat in YouTube, and I'll read it from there.
Yeah, you can't refresh the page or you'll leave.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. I don't even know how to get to the link.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, thanks. This is embarrassing. Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. Chat, we are back. Sorry about that. That is so weird. Yeah, so chat stopped working in StreamYard. All right, let's see if I can pop this out. Pop out chat. Perfect. Okay. All right, so that's the full list. I have a few more minutes. Let's do some Q&A. And there was also another story that I just wanted to briefly touch on. Alex, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I totally have that up still. We were going to talk about the higher tier option for ChatGPT, where I think it was like $2,000 a month or something like that, which is
let's see,
kind of ridiculous. Or GPT-5 is going to be that crazy. That's my thought on that.
All right, here's Tom's guide. OpenAI's higher pricing for ChatGPT. Yeah, so I'm hearing like, as high as $2,000 per month. If they launch something that is 10 times better than ChatGPT, I can see enterprises paying that amount easily. In fact, that'd even be cheap for 10 times the intelligence. So yeah, GPT-5 2K, Mr. Awesome says.
Does 10 times better mean 100 times the cost? Because isn't that?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, like intelligence,
maybe it was something
too
like
cheap
this.
to meter. Sorry, say again.
Oh, I was saying maybe it was something like this, where if it truly is that useful, especially for like a company like, I don't know, like Microsoft to use ChatGPT or whatever company, $2,000 is nothing a month.
Yeah, I mean, again, like $2,000 a month over 12 months, $24,000 a year. If they're thinking of this as another employee, if it's 10 times the intelligence, maybe it can be just seen as another employee. That's really inexpensive for an employee. By the way, chat's back in StreamYard. Glad to see that.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'll commit. Matt will buy the $2,000 a month ChatGPT subscription to try it out.
Great.
You know what, Alex? I will.
Okay. All right.
I know you were joking, but I'll do it. If it's like 10 times better and it's $2,000 a month, I'll buy it for a month to try it out to show you guys. Like, no problem. Selfishly, I want to use it.
That'd be a great video. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ask questions, by the way, chat. If you have questions, let me know in the chat. Let's look.
Yeah, I think we made it through the whole list, right?
Yeah. That was the whole list. I'll do the outro. I'll record it separately. what image generation tools do you use? Also, any podcast recommendations? So image generation tools, I use Grok 2 with Flux.1, but mainly I'm using DALL-E through ChatGPT. I haven't used Midjourney in a long time. I just didn't want to use it through Discord. But now that they have their own website, maybe I'll give it a try. But I get multiple text to image models for free. I don't really want to pay for another service.
Podcast.
Yes, thank you. Podcast recommendations. I like the All In podcast. They don't necessarily always touch on AI, but it's definitely like top of mind for them right now. They talk about business, mostly a little bit of politics, more politics lately. But they're, for really accomplished Silicon Valley technologists. And I really enjoyed their podcast. They talk about AI a decent amount. Let's see. Yeah. Nalia says Redefining AI podcast. I have not heard of that, so that's cool. Let me take a look at that.
I think AI news. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm on it. But by the way, if anybody kind of on that question is wondering where I get my news from, like Twitter, like number one. That's where I get the majority of my news in real time. I also subscribe to a lot of newsletters. Again, just to shill my own, MatthewBerman.com. Let's see if I can find it. Boom, MatthewBerman.com. Published twice a week, Tuesdays, Fridays. Really good stuff. We're putting a lot of time and effort into making this even better. So definitely check it out if you're not subscribed. And I think that's about it. Yeah, newsletters and X is really where I get the majority of my information from. Matt Wolf stuff is good. Agreed. He's awesome. He joined a couple weeks ago on the live stream. We met in person. He's a cool dude. I really like him. Check his stuff out.
Still bummed I missed that one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you definitely missed out on that one.
We'll have to have him
back. Hopefully he'll be back. Maybe I'll join him on one of his. But
and there was
really,
a third Matt that everybody wanted to get all together.
Matt Vid Pro AI, who is also just super nice dude, super easy to talk with. He streams. Yeah, I mentioned I joined his stream I think a couple days ago. Just good Matt trifecta. So maybe we'll bring all three of us together one time. I would love to do that.
Matt times 3.
Okay. Do you know about Agent Zero, the new framework on GitHub? Is it recommended by you? I don't know about it. Let's look. I think I've heard of it, but I actually don't know much about it. Can you see the GitHub page?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Agent Zero by FRDEL, 3.2K stars. Personal, let's see. It is not predefined, not a predefined agentic framework. It is designed to be dynamic, organically growing and learning as you use it. Fully transparent, readable, comprehensible, customizable, interactive. Okay. No, I haven't tried it. Maybe I should do a tutorial on this.
Someone says there's Agent Zero, Agent Q, and Agent K. Maybe there's
all right
separate ones. I don't know.
Yep. Give me one sec. Okay. Agent Elon. Sure. Views and opinions on Orion. I made a whole video about that. Won't get too deep into it. Seems like the next gen of OpenAI's frontier models. Alex, would you mind dropping that in chat?
Yep. No problem.
Thank you. Whoops. Okay, actually, I accidentally clicked on this, but it's a great question. Aman G. Will AGI come from small startup companies or the big giants? I don't know. I guess the framework in which I would think about it is it's going to take a lot of compute. So if you're calling a small startup small, they still need to have a lot of funding to buy a lot of GPUs. So in that sense, maybe it might come from a quote unquote small startup, as long as small means they still have a lot of money. More than likely, it's not gonna be this like inflection point in time. I don't think at the beginning, like when we first reach AGI, it's going to be kind of gradual, and then we'll realize we're there, and then it'll take off. So I don't know. AI scientist is open source. Yep, I like that project. So we got like 2 minutes left.
Also,
let's see if we can. Yeah.
Anyone who asks about like models and stuff like that, pretty typically it's safe to to assume they're like on our radar, and we're either going to test them or talk about them at some point in the future, because it's a big part of what we do in general. So just by the way,
yeah, absolutely. I haven't actually done an LLM test in a couple weeks, so I definitely am due. But I'm waiting for a compelling model to come out. But yeah, if there's a model,
talk about it.
Absolutely, we yeah, for sure. We're talking about all of them. And so yeah, the best way to like kind of influence what we talk about is to tell us in the comments. Like we actually read those, and especially kind of the ones that get upvoted a lot. I'm certainly reading those. So if you want to hear me talk about something, and a lot of other people who are watching my videos agree, it'll be upvoted. I'll read it, and yeah, I'll definitely add it to the list of things to talk about. Okay, here's the last question, and I like this one. David Heimer, what AI-related tech is in your doomsday bunker? So I made a video about this. I think it was towards the beginning of this year. I want a local, fully downloaded, open model, open weights, best of the best model that can fit on my computer. And I posted this picture on Twitter. I'm not going to look for it, but it was a long time ago. There was like basically I put the cutting edge Llama model on a little thumb drive, threw it in my safe. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing to prepare. I'm not like a prepper or anything, but I just thought that was a cool thing to do, to know that I essentially have the world's knowledge.
That video is the video I was hired on.
Oh yeah,
the doomsday
that's
video,
cool.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. And yeah, so I would say, yeah, better put it in a Faraday bag. Agreed. I bought that as well. And yeah, the only thing is like, where are you going to get the power from? So that's like kind of an open question still. Like you can have backup power, but that's what I'm doing. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up. I just want to say thanks to Mel, thanks to Alex, thank you guys for joining me, hanging out. Thank you to everybody who came and hung out with us. This was an off the cuff live stream. Did not intend it. Alex, if by the way, if you need anything to like kind of close out this video, so he's going to take this live stream, make it into a video. Let me know. Just I'll record it later. And yeah, thank you all. Thanks again. Check out the newsletter, MatthewBerman.com. Check out our channel memberships. We appreciate it. And see you tomorrow during the live stream, 10 a.m. Pacific. See you then. Bye, everybody.
See you tomorrow.